This week's free vehicle lineup in GTA Online is absolutely stacked because you're not just getting the usual LS Car Meet Prize Ride and Diamond Casino Podium vehicle this week. You've also got 2 additional cars that you can straight up claim for $0 from in-game websites. Altogether, that's over $4.4 million worth of cars that you can add to your garage without spending a single dollar of your own GTA cash. We have a compact car featured here today, a purpose-built drifting and sliding machine. We have a more competitive modern coupe, as well as a really strong performer from the sports classics class. This week, honestly, you kind of get just about every single driving style, to be honest. So in this guide here today, we're going to break down what each of these 4 free cars actually do well, and which ones are truly worth making space for by the time this update ends. Let's get started. First things first, let's chat totally free $0 vehicles. You can go log on to in-game websites right now and just claim the vehicle for yourself, put it in your garage without even picking up your controller beyond that. So let's check it out. We have 2 cars that are going to be available on Southern San Andreas Super Autos. The first one in the 2-door section, well, we'll talk about this one in a moment. That's one of them, but I do want to mention this one first because it's in my notes first. So we have the Dinkablista Conjo available for free. Not the Conjo SJ, this is just the hatchback Civic right here. This car kind of sucks. It's got crazy body roll when you turn. It's kind of difficult to maintain control even around the smallest and like most non-sharp corner in the game. You get weird handling. The thing about this car is it's front wheel drive, and so wheel spin is a huge part of accelerating with this car. You're going to get a bunch of that wheel spin. It's going to take a few seconds to kind of catch and start moving unless you just slightly push the throttle input. It's just a weird car. Every time I drive it, like sometimes we have those sort of like drug delivery random events that spawn where you take out the thugs and then you just steal this exact car, except it's like purple because it's supposed to be the Ballas gang. And you take that car and you deliver it to like some barn up north near Sandy Shores or just south of Sandy Shores. So this is one of the free vehicles you can get. It's really not that much, but for $0, I mean, you might as well claim it and check out the customization for yourself. And then the other car that's available for $0 is the classy Drift Walton L35. There's so many variants of the Walton L35 now. We have the Drift Walton L35, which is basically the same as the normal Walton L35 stock. And then you have the OG Walton L35, which is just, you know, lifted pickup truck version, single cab. This is the best one and my favorite, in my opinion. Then we probably have this one or the Drift Walton, which I'll be honest, I haven't driven it that much, but it is one of the free cars you could pick up. I would assume, honestly, when it comes down to it, because funny enough, the other sort of brother to it, the Drift Yosemite, is on discount this week. This is a pretty sweet drift vehicle right here. I would prefer driving that. I remember driving this once and I wasn't the biggest fan of it, but it is available for $0 this week, and it's a $1.4 million car, which will save you a significant amount of money. So those are the 2 free cars, which, you know, normally in my free vehicles guide, we talk about the podium vehicle and the prize ride, which are coming up next, but I just wanted to showcase these 2 because you can just log on to in-game websites, claim them right now. Since there's 0 cost to you as a player, check out the customization yourself, drive it around, see what you think. These other ones, you do have to put a little bit of in-game effort into or just have luck on your side to get, but you still don't have to pay any money, so that's why we're going to review the performance on the track. So let's move on to those. For your LS Car Meet Prize Ride for the week, it's the Fathom FR36, and in order to unlock this vehicle, all you need to do is place top 3 in LS Car Meet Series races for 4 days in a row. So we had a streak of you just being able to unlock a car for basically just completing one LS Car Meet Series race, whether you were winning, placing top 2, 3, 4, or 5, and you would get the car. This time you do need to go back to doing it for 4 days in a row in order to get this one. This is a very weird infinity in this game because honestly, I like it. Like with the drift tuning upgrades, it is absolutely a drift vehicle. Normally on the road, it just feels like a little underpowered, in my opinion. Not necessarily because of engine resistance or anything like that, but it just feels like this car is operating at maybe 85 to 90% of what it should and actually be able to do. But it is based on that 3rd gen Infiniti G35, so you probably want to grab it if you don't have it already because it is a pretty sweet looking car. Let's see how this car does on the track though. So we'll get started. 3, 2, 1, go. Off the line, decent amount of wheel spin, but once you get going, you really get going. You could feel this car pick up. And sort of like I was saying earlier, I'm just curious on seeing how it's going to do on this track because this car doesn't feel slow. It's not a slow car. it just doesn't feel like, I guess what I'm trying to say is it just feels like it's going a little bit slower than it should, like I was saying earlier. It doesn't feel like the car has engine resistance, which is a trait that some cars have in this game. It's an advanced handling flag. It doesn't have that. So it doesn't feel like you're, you know, shifting too late or shifting too early or anything like that. Or the car wants to sit in the wrong gear for longer than it should. It's kind of hard to explain, because it doesn't feel underpowered directly, but you kind of just notice it as you continue to drive, and you're like, maybe it should have accelerated a little bit harder right then. Or maybe I feel like I should just be going faster over this hill, despite the top speed, you know, still being in play, and I should still be trying to reach it, or something like that. Like, going downhill, the car does feel very quick, but it's like, we're going downhill right now. This is kind of how the car should drive normally, but that doesn't happen. And when you take a turn, sometimes you can upset the weight balance of the car, and kind of steps out on you like it did for me right there. But this is not a bad car by any means. It's a great looking Infiniti in this game. I really like it. I don't really get the chance to drive it too much. When this car released with the Chop Shop update, I was a big fan. This was one of the release day cars that I really enjoyed driving around, and this is that same one. I just have it in black. Like, the full thing is blacked out. It's like my own little Sith, right? Fully blacked out, limo tint on the windows, black primary and secondary, black wheels. I went with big 5-spoke rims this time. I don't know, maybe if I should have went with something else, because I changed it to like a more aggressive front and rear bumper, and then what I did was I actually just switched back to stock. I honestly really prefer the way this car looks in more of a stock configuration. I went with slightly different fenders and extended skirts, but the front bumpers are too square and boxy, and same with the rears. The rears I really don't like, because half of them, they're just duplicates, but they add a diffuser, and they call it a different bumper. And the diffuser isn't a nice little diffuser, like little fins at the bottom of the rear bumper. The diffuser that they'll use with this FR36 is this massive contraption that's bolted on, extended out and under the rear bumper, and it just looks tacky. It doesn't look good. I mean, if you had a drift build, maybe, but this isn't a drift build, right? This is just a normal street build we're rocking with here. Let's see the time we could set. I already reviewed the next vehicle we're going to be talking about. We are going to get a faster time than that, and you'll see that shortly. But this is 2 minutes 46, almost 2 minutes 47 seconds on that one. So I guess not really below average for a sports car, just not on the top end for like a supercar or anything like that, but not bad performance, honestly. Next up, we have the Diamond Casino podium vehicle, the Benefactor Sterling GT. This car is fantastic. You get excellent acceleration and a really strong top speed, considering this is a vehicle in the sports classics category. You know, it's not a modern supercar or sports car, but you still get super modern feeling handling. You get really good grip and honestly minimal oversteer under normal driving conditions. If you push it to its limits, maybe you'll find it gets upset. But besides that, it's super stable, super predictable in the corners. If you crash, it's got good crash durability as well. It's pretty forgiving if you're a new driver in this game. And like I said, it's one of the most competitive sports classics cars. So with that, you get classic styling, you get as close to modern performance in a vehicle, considering this vehicle's age, and it has HSW upgrades you can apply to make it even faster. So this thing rocks. Let's check it out and test its performance on the street though. Alright, well, let's get started reviewing the Benefactor Sterling GT performance on the track. I'll start my stopwatch in 3, 2, 1, go. Immediate jam on the gas. This thing hooks up right away and launches well. I think my favorite thing about the Benefactor Sterling GT is the exhaust note and the engine sound. The burbles you get when this thing downshifts if you're just coasting, you know, you let off the throttle. This thing is just so sick. It's not going to be the fastest sports classic in the game, although with HSW that definitely changes the picture. This is just the non-HSW Benefactor Sterling GT that we're talking about here. But when it comes to HSW, this thing is like a complete bullet. It's ridiculously fast, and so that's a huge plus. But just when it comes to the standard performance of this car, I absolutely love it. There's really no issue that I'm having when it comes to traction or handling. The sound makes it super thrilling and enjoyable to drive. I mean, that's what we want to see in every sort of car in GTA, and I styled this one after like the standard Mercedes 300 with that same sort of, you know, just the clean metal finish, right? Clean silver look. This car has a little bit of chrome on it. Well, let's see if we can thread the needle with these cars. Perfect. on the downhill, you can see this thing is super fast, even with non-HSW. Like, this is not a slow car by any means. It's just not one of the fastest if you don't have the HSW upgrades on it. And nowadays, there's a bunch of HSW cars that can kick butt compared to this, but this is still a very fast one. I forget what the HSW top speed is, but just off the top of my head, I gotta look it up. This is normally a challenging corner for any vehicle I talk about, and this one handled it excellently. For as old of a car that this thing is, it's performing just fine. I mean, what's not to love about this one? You do need to spin the Diamond Casino Lucky Wheel and just have a chance of unlocking. You're not necessarily guaranteed it, unlike those other 2 cars that you could just get off the websites, or even the Car Meet Prize Ride where you complete a challenge and you get the car. I mean, all of these still you spend 0 in-game dollars on, but this one is, I guess, technically the hardest to obtain from the week, right? And that's also kind of why I wanted to talk about it last in today's video. Funny enough, while I'm recording this is the first one that I'm reviewing. I'm doing this Wednesday evening now that I know what we're getting for the next weekly update. I have to wait until tomorrow morning on Thursday when we get the other 2 cars, because I want to show the customization of them, if there's any unique customization or if it's just the car itself that we're getting. Maybe we're getting something special with it, I don't know. But either way, when it comes to this one, this Benefactor Sterling GT rocks. I mean, I guess I'd like if it accelerates a little bit faster, but it's really a non-issue. Oh, okay, first little traction loss right there, but we got around those corners just fine. You'll see as we get to the end of the track here, though, our pace, I thought we were going to be a little bit faster, and then I looked at the time. So we're about to set 2 minutes, 55 seconds, call it, around that track. Which I feel like, you know, there are cars that are faster, and again, if you're driving this and it's HSW, you're setting a much faster lap time. But listen to the sound. Like, let me go down this hill over here. Listen to this car downshift and listen to the burbles. Hold on. I mean, that just sounds so good. How can you not love that with this car? This is definitely like a top 10 best sounding vehicle in the game, even if it's not going to be top 10 for performance. This Benefactor Sterling GT absolutely rocks. With all that out of the way, though, we are going to be wrapping everything up right here, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you guys did go on to enjoy, a like rating would, of course, be super appreciated. And, of course, consider subscribing to the channel if you are new and you want to see more GTA 5 online content just like this. I review the free DLC vehicles every single week. Typically, it's just the prize ride as well as the podium vehicle. But we have so many free cars. We have those. We have 2 more free ones you can claim off websites like we talked about today. And then we have a claimable salvage yard vehicle, which I'm going to have a dedicated video on and a guide on how to unlock it a little bit later this weekend. So thank you so much for watching. Have a fantastic day. I'll see you guys in the next video. Adios, amigos.